Well, welcome back. Today is August 27th, 2021. This is raising meat chickens with pretty much no experience. We're back for the fourth week, and the beginning of the fourth week. Today's Friday, and we're doing fine still. Haven't had any more casualties after the first three. We originally had 20, but due to some problems, some unknown, 3 died. But we still have 17 of them, and the 17 that are still alive are doing well. I'm just moving the tractor every day, filling up their feeder. I don't fill it up all the way, and I don't think I need to. I mean, they don't tear through it very much, but I make sure I keep their water full all the time. And if you're interested in building this tractor, I made 2 videos about it, so go check those out. But I'll update you tomorrow. Well, today's Sunday. I missed Saturday's update, but that's fine because nothing really happened. But today, their water somehow got knocked over and rolled down the hill and lost all the water. And they were really thirsty, so luckily none of them died or anything. And I want to say I'm stuffing boards under the edges of the tractor because the ground is not flat. So there's a lot of dips and stuff in it, and that's kind of annoying, so I have to stuff boards under it to keep them from getting out or anything from getting in. But today they're still doing fine, so hopefully that keeps up. Well, it's Tuesday and they're still doing fine. They keep trying to get out when I open the door, so I hold a board in front of the door when I open it to keep them from hopping out. Yesterday, on Monday, on our chicken coop up there on the run, some sort of falcon or hawk landed up there, and we scared it away. We have netting on top there, and I'm not afraid of it getting in here because we got wire all over, but it was kind of strange to have one that close. So hopefully they keep up good health. I haven't been putting in apple cider vinegar. Some people do that, and I did at the beginning when we first got them, but mostly I haven't put any in because I've just been too lazy. I'm usually in a hurry when I'm getting their water set up and whatnot, so I don't usually put it in there, but they've been fine without it. I might try it again just to see if it makes any difference. Well, it's Tuesday, September 7th. I missed a couple more days, but like I said before, nothing much happens. I want to point out that it's a good idea to keep their water level on a hill. You still see I have some problems. I don't know if you can see that. It's all slashes on one side on this hill. This hill's pretty steep. It's kind of hard to see how steep it is in a camera, but I put it up on a rock and put another rock under it to try to level it a bit, and I still have problems with it leaking. So I'm still working out the kinks in that, and it's kind of annoying. You'll notice I don't have the feeder in it because they just ate out all their feed, and I'm going to fill it tomorrow morning. But I'm still moving it every day, just kind of in a zigzag, just do one row, come up, and then move it that way. So they really leave a mess behind where they were, so it's a great idea to move them every day. We haven't seen any predators yet, and I don't hope to, and I don't think we will, but before I go to bed each night, I shine a flashlight down here from the porch. The porch is all the way up the hill, so I just shine a bright flashlight down and see if I get any eye reflection. I don't really expect to see anything, but just in case. And I stop up all the holes with wood, with just old pallet boards that we had. They weren't really good in the first place, so I just used junk ones because, you know, the uneven parts in the hill, there's all sorts of lumps and rocks and stuff sticking up. One more thing I forgot to mention. Friday marked the beginning of the 5th week of having them, and I have had the same 50-pound bag of feed since the beginning and have used it. I might have not been feeding them enough. I don't really know. They seem to have been fine, and they seem to be growing fine. So, yeah, it's just about out. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen for you. Of course, we had 3 die, so that might have been different if we didn't have those ones die, but it almost definitely would have been. But that's how far I was able to make it go. Like I said, I don't know if I was feeding them enough, but they seem to be fine. It's Friday, September 10th, which marks the beginning of the 6th week, and we're still doing fine. I've been taking the feeder out when I fill up the water in the evening, and then I fill it up, and then the next morning I bring it in and set it down, and they all flock around it like they haven't eaten for weeks. And it helps them all keep to this side when I'm moving the tractor, because a lot of times they'll lag behind, they'll get their foot stuck when I'm dragging it, so I have to go slow. Like I said, I rolled one and absolutely butchered it by smushing it under the edge. I was going too fast, and they were a little bit smaller too, so it kind of helps them keep away from that edge. I just set it on this side, move it forward, and then when it reaches the back, I move it back over here and pull it the rest of the way. They try really hard to get out when I open the door. I had a couple get out like that. It's kind of annoying. So I hold a board in front of the door, but they still try to jump out and stuff. So it might be easier if you had like an open, like a one to open from the top. Like, I don't know if you could do that with the wire on this specific tractor, but it would be nice if you could open it from higher up so they couldn't jump out. Well, it's Wednesday, September 15th, and we're still doing fine, growing crazy quick. I want to update you on my routine. In the evening, I fill up their water and take their feeder out. I bring the feeder up the hill and fill it up, and then the next morning I bring it down and some water and fill up the water or two. And I want to say it can be hard. I think I've said before, they try to get out when you open the door. So when I open the door to service it or whatever, I throw a handful of feed in there. That's what I started doing recently, and then they all flock to that. I'm pretty low on the second bag, so that bag was like maybe like almost a week and a half of use in it. So it almost seems like I'll go through a bag in a week. But I'm not quite up to that yet. So they're really tearing through the feed. I might be underfeeding them, but like I said, I'm not sure. They seem to be doing fine. It's Monday, September 20th. Every bird is still doing fine. Some of them are a little smaller. Well, one of them is. It's not very smart. It kind of stays behind while all the other ones are eating and won't budge its way into the feeder. So, therefore, it is smaller. Friday marked the beginning of the 8th week, although today marks the end of the 8th week since hatch date. And I want to say they're really not as big as I thought they'd be. I think they're actually... I think what might have happened is I hadn't been feeding them enough. I mean, they've had plenty to eat with grass, but I guess they just like the grain. I don't know exactly what they're supposed to look like at a total 8 weeks, but we won't be butchering them until October 17th, so they'll have more time to grow. And I want to say that I've changed my schedule. I was going down 2 times a day, but now I'm going down 3 times a day, and halfway through the day, I fill up the water because it won't last them that long. Also, I just opened a new bag of feed, so we went to the second bag of feed since we got them. And like I said, that might sound kind of small, so that may be why they're small. I don't know what they're supposed to look like. We've never done this before, so I'm not totally sure. You can see all the patches where they've been before. The grass is really dry, so it's not coming back very quick. But they're really raking up the grass and stuff, so you can see there. That stuff's where they were at the beginning and then slowly made their way up here. So, this last one over here was the most recent hatch. Well, it's Monday, September 27th. And I want to mention that 3 days ago I started filling up their feeder again halfway through the day, so right after lunch, because they were all out of feed by lunchtime, and I serviced the pen in the morning, so it was just getting eaten up, and they were looking kind of small to me, so I wanted to give them more feed and see if they got a little bigger. They seem to be getting a little bigger. I don't know what they're supposed to look like when they're full grown, but they're coming along right now just fine. Well, it's Tuesday, October 5th. They're doing great. They got a lot bigger. I kind of feel like throughout this video I should have maybe updated more, but I guess there really wasn't a whole lot to update. It's like, hey, here's my chickens. They're a little bit bigger than yesterday. Nothing went wrong. So there wasn't a whole lot to update, I guess. If you felt like there should be more, please comment, you know. I just didn't feel like there was that much going on. Also, you may have noticed I stopped stating how many weeks we are on because I actually lost track and it was on the wrong track. So I have to recalculate that again. But we're somewhere close to 8 or 9 weeks. It turns out we'll be butchering this Friday or over the weekend. And I'll show you what they look like after they're done being butchered. And I want to have a word on the feed too. We went through about 4 bags of feed. I opened another one about a week ago, another bag. And that was about 4 bags. And I don't know if I was feeding them too much towards the end here and not enough to start with or what. But we're just about out of feed. And we didn't want to get another one because we didn't want to get another bag because we're just going to run out. Well, not run out. We're just going to, we're not going to use it all up. And it doesn't look like our layer chickens can have the kind of feed that these chickens are having because it just won't be as good for them. It'll make those ones too fat and harder for them to lay eggs. So we looked at giving these ones layer feed. Nobody on the internet that I saw gave a definite answer if you could do that or not. It didn't seem like a good idea to me. So we just got cracked corn, and that's what I mixed it in with some of their old feed, that whatever's left in the bag. And they seem to like it. Somebody actually said they did that. They fed their Cornish Cross cracked corn for the last week to put a good layer of fat on. So we're kind of switching over to the cracked corn now because we're running out of the other feed. And it's dual purpose. You can use it for both of them. And I think you can even use it for cows and other stuff like that. So I'll get back to you probably tomorrow or the next day and let you know actually how many weeks it was. Well, it's Thursday, October 7th. I figured out the date. It's actually the end of the 8th week. So my first video, it said weeks 1 through 3. I figured out that it's actually 1 through 2. Somehow I miscounted somewhere, and sorry, there's a bug flying around my head. Somewhere I miscounted, and so it's actually the end of the 8th week. So we'll go of raising them, not since hatch date. Hatch date was Monday. On a Monday. So we've raised them for about 8 weeks, and I figured out we'll be butchering them on Sunday. Now, since I'm almost done with this, I want to mention a few things. The thing I kind of wish I would have done with doing it every day is mention some of the problems. I might have made this look like, you know, it's pretty easy, and in some ways it was, but also we had some problems. Like I said, there were some deaths, but I got chopped up by the tractor a bit. I got my fingers cut in there. They peck your fingers when you stick it under the edge and their beaks really hurt too. And they're stinky. They make a mess. Have water problems. They knock the water down the back, and I have to climb in there and stuff. And the other day I was moving it and set it down. This is a heavy side with the door. I set it down and had my pinky under it, and absolutely smashed my pinky. Almost the whole nail is purple. You can't really see it very well in this lighting. It's almost dark, but we had some problems. And then this chicken recently, they just pecked. It's in a dog crate. It's kind of hard to see right now because it's dark, but they pecked a hole in it. It's bleeding, and we thought if we wanted to keep it alive for butchering day, on Sunday we're going to have to set it aside. So it's in this kennel here with some water. I put a big rock on top of it to keep anything from lifting it up. Because these ones were just brutalizing it. They're pecking at each other and stuff. So, you know, it's not just all lollipops and rainbows. There's some problems. If we did this again, we might try a different breed. These are really mean. So, yeah, I just want to say that there's problems. Well, it's Saturday, October 9th, and the last day of the chicken. Tomorrow we're going to butcher them. We got some friends, they have some dog crates and stuff. We have that one and another one, but not very much. And they're kind of expensive, but our friends are going to lend us some so that we can use those. And we're going to get together, our friends, we have some friends, they all pitched in on all the equipment, and so we're going to go over to their house to butcher them. I'm probably not going to film that. Oh, I also wanted to mention I haven't fed them for 24 hours. I was reading some people did that. It's supposed to make it a bit cleaner when you butcher them. I don't know that. But I thought I'd give it a try. It's not going to kill them or anything. But right now they're kind of in a bad mood because they really want to eat something. Well, it's a few days after butchering. We got them all in the freezer. If you're wondering about the milk jugs, they said if you put a bunch of warm birds in there, it will bring the temperature of the freezer down dramatically, which might spoil your other food. So if you we filled milk jugs full of water and let them freeze a couple days before we butchered, and it's supposed to help keep the temperature down in the freezer and keep, you know, everything else cold and help them freeze faster and stuff. So we did that. Butchering was pretty interesting. It was my first time, so it was pretty cool. We had there was a bunch of families and people there, friends and stuff, and they all shared the equipment. They had it at one family's property, and everybody just helped out to get the job done. Had a good time, and it was nice having people that knew how to do it and have the equipment too. So I'm not sure if I'll do this again. If I do, I'll be sure to bring everyone along and show them how I did it and any improvements I made. So for now, I'm going to get this set up for winter, take the tarp off, and just clean it up a bit and set that inside, and just probably set this off somewhere in the yard. So yeah, if you have any more questions about what I did, what I fed them, or anything like that, they ended up being like finished weight like 2 to 5 pounds. Some of ours were kind of small, but that was first time. So if you have any questions about, you know, what we did, what we used, anything like that, feel free to ask in the comments. And I guess I hope I'll see you again soon. And until then, have a good one. Bye.